Stride by Stride. I'm Martin.
I'm Josh.
And this is episode 11.
Very good.
Stride by Stride.
Yeah.
Today we are with Ellie, who is a local runner and runfluencer.
Like it, runfluencer.
A growing runfluencer.
Very nice.
We're going to be talking to her, and she's going to be taking us out on her route of choice today.
Brilliant.
We're going to do a bit of conversation corner.
Yep.
Do some international races.
Oh, international races. Sorry, that's what it says.
Well, you couldn't actually read my writing.
I couldn't. No.
I
was trying to.
I need to type it. That's
I was
what
like,
I need
what
to do.
is that squiggle?
Yeah, well, and we're going to do a bit of a hot topic discussion today. So We're going to pick up on something that Ellie spoke about on her channels, and we'll talk about club this week.
And a bit of a roundup and whatever else.
Whatever else, and we'll chuck a bit of club champs in there as well, because we have had an update on that as well. So let's start by saying hello to Ellie.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, not too bad.
Good. So where are you taking us on our run today, Ellie?
So today we're on the Bristol to Bath cycle track. I run here quite a lot, so yeah, I'm excited to get going.
Yeah.
Excellent. So let's get going, and we can
Beautiful.
tell you a little bit about the route that we're on today. So the Bristol Bath cycle track is a disused railway, and it was restored back in the early 90s, just as a kind of public thoroughfare, and it's well used by pedestrians, runners and cyclists. So Ellie, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It'd be really handy, just to begin with, just to think about your running journey, when you started running, and where you're at now. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. So growing up I was a dancer, so yeah, thank you to my parents for taking me to those dance lessons all my life. I was fairly fit. And then I got a bit older, I did a degree in dance, and then COVID hit and things happened, and I just ended up, I stopped dancing. My cardio fitness completely went out the window. I didn't even realise that I had good cardio fitness until I didn't have it anymore. And then last year I realised that I felt really unfit, and I just wasn't I was missing something in my life, and I thought, okay, I'll try running. I started with couch to 5k, and honestly I couldn't run for 60 seconds. I was really not good, and I actually hated it.
Me too.
I absolutely hated
about
it.
week 4.
Yeah, and then after I finished couch to 5k, I just thought I'm just going to carry on with this, and then that's when I fell in love with it.
Nice.
Yeah, and I've been running since January 2024.
And what is it? You say you fell in love with it. What is it that actually kind of stokes your fire then?
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, it's funny because I think, I often find when there's a challenge involved that I can overcome, that's when I feel good about myself.
Nice.
So I think with running, it is a challenge. Running is really hard.
It is.
But at the end of a run, I know that I've achieved something for myself.
And then do you go through all your stats on your phone?
And I go through those stats like it's...
Like an exam tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. I spend so much time looking at my stats, but I absolutely love it. I think I'm a bit of a nerd.
No, I do that. I think, oh yes. Oh, if I just didn't, I just quick.
Just outstride a little bit, or I've done overstrides there.
You must remember next time.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think, I just like to feel proud of myself, and I think that's what I love about running. And also, when you get that high heart rate, you get that runner's high, that's also not a bad thing, is it?
No, you can't replace it with anything else that I'm aware of.
But interesting, I learned fairly recently that actually that kind of pounding in your chest, which I think runners quite like, like feeling out of breath, like the pounding in the chest. For neurodivergent people, that can be really quite distressing.
Oh,
My son hates it, and And actually I found that quite fascinating. And I wish I'd done a little bit more reading about it actually, just to, you know, kind of find out actually, you know, because there are quite a lot of neurodivergent runners. So actually, how do they overcome that? I mean, that's quite interesting. That I'd really like to know.
Me
And at
too.
some point, perhaps maybe.
Sounds
see
like
if
a
we can find
topic for conversation corner, that one.
I do
Definitely.
think that, you know, neurodivergency, if that's the right word, is a spectrum. So
Yeah. So there will be people that won't feel that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I guess it's just a sensory thing, isn't it? So.
Yeah, 100%.
And of course, you know, because running is very sensory, isn't it? So, and what sort of sensations, I suppose, would you say are the most positive ones?
The most positive ones, you know, I think feeling my body and
Right.
feeling that my body can move in a certain way
Yeah.
and maintain that is amazing.
It is.
I also, I just feel like the smoothness of running when it goes right
Yeah.
and you're cruising.
I know what you mean. When you get those times when you
Yeah,
don't have to think and it's just
Yeah.
working, and you think to
absolutely.
yourself, God, I'm running so good at the moment. And then, oh, there's a bike.
Oh, there is a bike.
absolutely. There's no one behind us, yeah. See, this is the cycle path, so there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as though you knew. I mean, Josh has actually got eyes in the back of his head.
Yeah.
We've just learnt that today, so.
But yeah, cruising is amazing, and it only happens once in a blue moon. But
It
when
does,
it
yeah.
does, it makes it worth it, right?
It does, it makes it, you make it feel so amazing, and then you start thinking about stuff, and then it
Yeah.
starts to fall to pieces.
It was so interesting because my coach John Cox has got a session that he calls cruising, or part of a session that he calls cruising. He always says, "I'll do like a 5-minute cruise," and I'm like,
Yeah.
right, okay, let's
Yeah.
try this then,
Yeah.
shall we? And so you get to a point where you're trying to think, okay, am I actually cruising right now? Oh yeah, I think I am, you know.
It sounds so weird though when you're saying you're going out for a cruise.
Yeah, that does mean something else.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
It does mean something else. So, to what extent would you say that your dancing kind of background is beneficial?
I think with dance, it's about discipline. So I definitely have that discipline built in. You know, I think giving up isn't really in my vocabulary.
You wait.
I know that I quit dancing, but it was a long time coming.
Yeah.
And it took, you know, it really did take some mental resilience to say, okay, this isn't for me anymore. And I think that really helps with running because
Yeah.
you feel like you're at your end's wit, and you're like, I need to quit, I need to stop, I need to walk. But I always know that there's another 10% there.
Plus you chose running, not your parents.
Absolutely.
This is your choice.
This is my choice, for sure. No, I wanted to be a dancer from the second I walked out the womb.
Perhaps you need to take your parents on a run.
Yeah. I
You know when you drag me to dancing? Yeah. Come on.
I did suggest that they do a half marathon with me.
Okay. How does that go
What is
down?
payback, you know, or
No,
retribution?
no, I just think it'd be really fun. And
Yeah.
I also think both my parents are amazing people. They're just fantastic, and they, I just think that it'd be a really fun activity to do together.
I think it sounds fun.
Yeah.
So you talked about discipline there, and you know, I just wanted to share. I read a quote the other day from Ellie Kipchoge,
Yeah.
and he said that to be disciplined is to be free. To be undisciplined is to be a slave to everything that life is.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, I get it. You know, to be disciplined is free.
Interesting.
So, I suppose the question on the back of that is, how much freedom do you find from running?
Well, I find a lot. I think before I had the routine of running in my day-to-day, maybe I had a lot of time, but what was I really doing with that time?
Yeah.
I find now I have the routine, I can slot everything else in around my life, and I just find it gives me a lot of structure.
Yeah.
And I think for me personally, I thrive when I have structure, and then there's also wiggle room for things like beers.
Yeah,
I can relate to that.
finding new stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I like the structure,
Yeah.
and I used to have my running fit around my life. Now I have my life fitting around my running.
Yeah, exactly. I think that that's such an amazing thing. I also think it's important not to let the routine of running be the only thing about you as well. Because although it's great to have that routine, sometimes when it feels like it's controlling you, that's when you need to step back a bit maybe. But I don't know, I find that so long as everything's a balance, that's the most important thing.
I think balance is really important. It's interesting that actually when they talk about balance in athletics, they all obviously talk about balance, you know, like are you going to fall over?
Yeah,
but actually, I think if we really think about where the majority of running comes from in your head,
exactly.
then actually perhaps balance means something else.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually creating balance is really quite tricky, isn't it?
Very tricky.
We talked about to a lot of our guests about, you know, sort of balancing like home life, balancing work. How do you fit in your runs around work?
Oh, yeah. So I work a 9 to 5, and my office is in Bedminster. And I live in Kingswood, so it's fairly far, but it is nice because I do have the option of running to and from work.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that in the winter, in the summer it's easy because I can get home and I can run and it's light.
Yeah.
I can run in the morning, it's light. It's the winter that I find hard because as a woman running in the dark after work, it can be fairly tricky. I mean, luckily the races that I run I'm not usually training in those times, but I do think that running when it's dark, especially fitting in around my 9 to 5, I do find that tricky. Although my partner, who he just goes out, just goes out when it's dark, no problem. But
but we said before, it's a bit different for men, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know.
And for women, it can be a bit more trickier.
Yeah, it can be.
It's not right.
Yeah, and we've spoken to several guests about that, and also one of our guests that we talked with on our running show is looking to build something up about that.
Yeah, she is.
So she's trying to create a forum where sort of men and women runners come together.
Wow.
You know, so what we end up with is obviously greater allies in men, also greater awareness in men.
Yeah.
Because of course, you know, you can get a room full of women to talk about women's safety, and it becomes an echo chamber.
Absolutely, yeah.
You get a room full of men to talk about women's safety, and you might get some movement.
Yeah, exactly.
You might get some change.
Maybe.
So it's important to have men as part of that conversation, I think.
I think so. I think it's important to have everyone involved in that conversation because it does involve everyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't exclude just because you're not the one being targeted all the time. And men are targeted in these things too. So, you know, it's a group conversation, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think
and
it's definitely its way to go.
Yeah, talking about conversation.
Yeah.
I think we're going to Conversation Corner now.
Conversation Corner. Conversation Corner.
Marvellous.
So, Josh, what have we had on recently?
You did a bit about what music do you like to listen to when you run. We've had the weather, I think.
Oh yeah. So what do you do in the hot weather?
What do you do in the
Do you hit the gym? Do you not run at all because you're melting? Or do you just slow it down and strip off the layers?
Well, I think for me, running in the hot weather is a really good experience.
Yeah.
Not pleasant, difficult.
Yeah.
I suppose it depends if you're training for something. I have a friend who's training for 100k in the desert, so this latest weather has been brilliant for him.
Yeah.
But I think it's all good for all of us to experience, just even if you go out and do 1 or 2 miles.
Yeah.
It will make you a bit stronger when it's cooler.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah, and I think, you know, one of the things that I am really key on when it's hot weather is that actually you are already putting your body under more strain.
Yeah.
Through the fact that it's hot.
Exactly.
So you don't have to go all guns blazing.
No, it's all about taking it slow.
Yeah, just being out there, you're actually getting the same benefit that you would do in the cold, possibly doing some fartlek or doing some hill work.
Exactly.
If you do some hills slowly in the hot weather, then you've maxed out.
Yeah.
So,
But
yeah.
if you agree with us or disagree, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely.
Please go on our Instagram and say, no guys, you're wrong, or yes, I agree, or
Coming at this from the wrong angle.
whatever. We really want to get you guys talking.
Yeah, totally. Ellie, what do you think about running in the hot weather? What's your go-to? Do you just struggle on, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, it's important, we talk about balance, it's important to be able to know when it's time to say, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But you can make it easier for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I get up super early, get out for my run, and then it's done in the cooler temperature, cooler time of the day. I mean, what's the time now? What are we on, 8 o'clock, something like that?
Yeah.
But I love that early morning,
Yeah.
Sometimes I get up at
5.
5 or 4,
Yeah.
go out and do like 10 miles,
Yeah,
come back home and then really smug for the rest of the day.
absolutely, and it does make you feel good. I like getting up and running in the morning anyway, but I do find, last summer I just thought, I can't do this, running so hard in the summer, and then I got to my race in the autumn and I felt super fit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
So-
wow. Yeah, absolutely.
So that, that actually did spur me on a bit.
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
good. It's good. And of course, what we've got to remember is that even though if you go out and it's still quite warm, as it has been this last week,
Yeah.
in the morning, you haven't got the radiant heat of the sun. So if the sun's not beating down on you really heavy, you're not going to have that heat as well. So you've just got what I would class as the hot hairdryer effect,
yeah.
rather than just the beating sun as well.
I can
As a
remember
hot
those
hairdryer.
days.
That's a good one.
Cool. We've also had, to kind of tie on to that, we talked about cold snacks.
We did, yes.
Yeah. So, what's your go-to kind of cooling aid? I suppose is probably the best. Not Kool-Aid, completely different, but cooling aid. So we talked about my brother swears by Calippo.
Oh yeah, nice. Love it.
I'm a fruit pastel lolly.
Nice.
Although I went for a twister after the Cotswold Way relay last weekend
Wow.
because they didn't have one.
Right.
Or slushies,
Oh yeah.
where some other people said that. They
I'm a
like
Magnum
slushie.
guy.
You like?
I like Magnum.
Matt, you go for the ice cream.
Yep.
Chocolate and hot weather, mate. That's brave.
Yeah.
See, I'm a combination of the two because I like a Solero.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay, yeah. So ice cream and ice lolly.
Yeah,
Very nice.
although I
Very
do.
refreshing.
Yeah, very refreshing. Although I do like a Mr. Freeze pop-up.
Ooh.
Like,
Oh yeah. So
Okay.
ice pops,
yeah,
ice
exactly.
poles are very popular.
Conversation corner.
Ellie, we had a listener's question
Oh, very nice.
come in
Wow.
from Andre, who is a super fan and a good friend.
Yep. Good morning, Andre.
Sounds nepotistic, that, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, mate, can you send in a question? All right, then. All right.
Thanks, Andre. I don't know.
Yeah,
So.
thank you very much. He said, who do you like to run with? So in terms of running pals, company,
Yeah.
who do you like to run with, or do you just like your own space?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. I think, thanks Andre, great question. So when I first started running, I was embarrassed by how slow I was running because, I was a beginner, I was a very slow runner,
Yeah.
and I just told everyone that I didn't want to run with them because I was too slow and I'd slow them down and I'd make them feel, like they weren't being pushed or any of that stuff. And then I went on a couple of runs with a dear friend of mine, Marie.
Good morning,
And
Marie.
she showed me that actually it's just really nice to run with someone else.
Yes.
At the time I wasn't sure I'd be able to talk whilst running,
That does take a bit of practice.
which it does take time. And so she said, no, that's fine. Let's put our headphones on, let's just run side by side.
Oh,
And
nice.
that was really lovely. That was a really good one. And then I ran a half marathon with one of my best friends, Warren, in Italy last year.
Wow.
And we just yapped the whole time.
I bet that run just went like that.
It just
so
went
fast.
so quickly, and it was absolutely lovely. I like running with groups of people as well,
Me too.
but I'm a mixture really.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need my space. It's, you know, almost meditation for me running,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's great to be social with it.
I love running with people. The amount of runs I've done with Martin where we both looked up and gone, oh, I don't think we're supposed to be here.
Absolutely.
They're the
Yeah.
best runs.
You just get lost in the moment, can't you? And actually, you know, I flip, you know, so I'm meditative as well.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of mindful running. So when I'm on my own, I can equally get lost in my own, but not lost, not
No, I know,
physically
but-
lost, but actually just lost in my space.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. And I look at my watch. Oh, I've just run 5 miles,
Yeah.
and I just didn't even notice it, which is identical to what you like when you're with somebody, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Getting
great that you find that. I think only happens to me every once in a blue moon.
I'm not saying it happens every run,
Yeah.
it's just like occasional bits.
I
So-
struggle to run on my own.
Do you?
Yeah, I find that my head just takes over and I get quite a lot of sort of negativity of, you know, you're too slow.
Yeah.
If you can't run 5 miles today, how are you going to run 40?
That is a question I ask myself.
But then I find when I'm like running with both of you this morning,
Yeah.
I know it's quite warm, but I'm having a great time. I think I'm much better with people.
Yeah. So you're better outside of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. It's good to,
So
it's good to know that.
when you're in that space, like both of you, in fact, actually, this is an open question. How do we overcome that negative self-talk? You know, what do you rely on?
I mean, it's a great question because it is so hard, right?
Yeah.
Running, and like I said before, running is a really hard thing to do, hard thing to get yourself into, but it's so great when you do. I think actually my negative self-talk, I didn't even realise how bad it was before I started running.
No.
And then I started running and realised that I'm just constantly telling myself that I'm not good enough, constantly.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but the trick I found
Okay.
is just pretend. Just tell yourself, I'm really good at this. This is really easy. I'm light as a feather. I'm having a great time. I'm running really, really fast. And by the time you finish your run, I promise you'll believe it a little bit.
Okay, I'll try that.
Honestly, just pretend. Pretend that you really, really love yourself.
So
And
is
it does
this
work.
faking it before you make it? Yeah.
It really does work, yeah.
I'm going to try it.
Josh, I mean, you have spent quite a lot of time running on your own
Yeah.
in certain races. How did
Yeah.
you get through? How did you get through that?
So
There must have been something you drew on.
I think the longest time I spent on my own was on the Green Man in the winter last year. 17 miles I did on my own, which was really very difficult.
Yeah.
But what kept me going was I just had to catch the end of the pack.
Yeah.
But I did go through a stage where, you know, my negative self was saying, you can't do this.
Yeah,
They must be 2 hours in front of you. You know, you can't do it.
yeah.
But it did drive me forward. I did
Yeah.
catch them, but I think, I don't know if it is that actual mental thing, but yeah, I do struggle on my own.
Did your
Yeah.
competitiveness kick in? And that's
Yeah.
why you finished? I love
It
that.
did.
That's exactly what
It
I
did.
have.
Is that internal competitiveness?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because actually, that's one of the biggest things, isn't it? Is because we're probably in the middle of a pack. You're not going to place. You're not going to podium.
No.
Yeah.
You might not even be on for a PB.
Yeah.
But actually, what you start doing is start saying, okay, come on, you can beat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what you end up doing is beating up yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do is you've got to move into a place where you're bigging up yourself,
Yes.
which is like, right, okay, competitive.
Yeah.
Let's get this on then. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
I do find with me, if someone says to me, there is no way you can do that, I'm going to prove them wrong.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah, not on my watch.
yeah.
Yeah. I do that
Obviously, I had
too.
to do that on my own on that race. But I think, yeah, if I was out on a run on my own, if someone said, 5 miles, you can't do that. Look at you. your running form's terrible, you're sweating. I'll be like, yes, watch me now.
Excellent.
So,
Hold my beer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will take on your advice. And, step out of myself and tell myself that.
Tell yourself, you know, you might not want to do this. I say, you got this, baby girl. You don't want to say that to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
do you?
I've always wanted to be a baby girl, so
More on that later. So Ellie, so I guess for you, your performance background really helps you there, you know, in the fact that you can kind of think, okay, right, now what I've got to do is I've got to go out,
Yeah.
got to put on a brave face,
yeah,
and I've got to do this. So
let's tango the hell out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, there is no other option than to finish
Yeah.
in a dance performance.
Yeah.
You've got,
that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
you know, you've got to get to the end somehow.
There are no DNFs.
No,
No.
exactly. And, you know,
Morning.
if there is a moment where things go wrong, you just take stock and you just get back on track in any way you can. And it doesn't mean it's always going to be perfect, but, you know, you will always get there somehow.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, that's what I've learned for sure.
Good
Yeah,
resilience
that's
training.
brilliant.
Yeah.
International races now. Right, I found a brilliant international race, Josh.
Okay, tell me all about it, Martin.
Right, so we've had some listeners from Australia recently. So on the 2nd of August,
Okay,
there is a race called the MSF Sugar Great Pyramid Race.
Pyramid
And
race?
it's in Gordonvale in Queensland, which is, and I think that's near Cairns. When I say near Cairns, it might be about an hour away from Cairns.
okay.
I think I've been there.
Wow, really?
So the origins of this race, so it started off as a bet between two local sugarcane farmers,
Right.
and basically they said, right, who's going to get, I bet I can get to the top of that hill before you can, and it started from there.
And he said, that's no hill, that's a pyramid.
I'm already there. So it's a 12k run
Oh,
to the summit of Walsh's Pyramid Hill, massive community event. It's absolutely
great.
huge.
is there a medal?
You know the answer to that. I didn't look at the medal. It's about getting to the
Research,
top.
Martin.
Did you not hear where they did it?
Research.
Also, there's a couple of other races. So one called Race to the Base. I don't know how long that is.
Okay.
There's a 3-kilometre cross-country run and a junior race as well. And there are places still available if you fancy signing up.
Fancy it?
Oh, do I fancy that? You
race
pay
to
for
the
the
base.
flights?
I'd say it's moderately cooler in Queensland at the moment, but of course that's not true because they're there's tropical, so it doesn't vary much between
I'm sure we can get
summer
a
and winter.
sponsor.
Do you reckon?
So, Ellie, you mentioned that you have done an international race. You did one in Italy. Tell us all about that.
Yeah, so I did the Lake Jewellery half marathon last year with my friend Warren. My partner did the marathon. It absolutely beautiful race. You would think it would be hilly, but it's not. It's all flat. You're running around the lake, and it's just beautiful. The scenes are stunning. You can look on my Instagram if you want to see what it looks like.
Okay, will do.
Or,
Do you want to tell everyone your Instagram handle?
sure, yeah. So it's FB_runs.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and it's just the most beautiful race. My partner did the marathon. Absolutely loved it. Heart rate was very high the whole way around because he had a knee injury. But
I like I was getting excuses in ready.
oh, it was a pretty bad one to be fair. But he finished, which was good. Yeah. And then I've actually got a Porto marathon coming up as well, which
Wow.
is my first marathon, which I'm training for at the moment.
Yep.
And how's that going?
How's it going? Good question.
It's gone.
It's happening. I'm on week 4, so you know the mileage is still manageable at the moment. I'm a bit nervous for the next 11 weeks.
Yep.
No, I don't know, a bit more than that, but
You'll be good.
yeah, it'll be good. I'm excited.
I've actually got a good, when you get to your 20 miler,
Yeah,
I'll send you I've got a route to have a cycle track
great.
into Bedminster, round the docks, and then back along the cycle track,
That would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you.
which takes in some Tesco's and other supermarkets are available,
Great.
water stops, but nice and safe.
Oh yes, please. That sounds really good because I do struggle with routes around Bristol because we get into habits, don't we, where we run the same thing. So
Yeah.
absolutely, that'd be really good. Thank you.
Just showing like the importance of sharing amongst our running community.
Absolutely.
We've had people come on the show and just talk about when they came, they've introduced people to the running scene and they've been surprised about how friendly it is, and what's your experience being like of stepping into the strange world that is running?
And it is a strange world.
It's a lovely strange world.
It's a lovely strange world. I guess I thought before I started running that it was an insular, lonesome sport.
Because you spend a lot of time on your own.
Because you spend a lot of time on your own, right? And then I actually started getting into the community in Bristol, and wow, I mean,
They're
the
amazing.
community is so supportive.
Absolutely.
It does not matter where you are in your running journey.
No.
The community will support you no matter what, and that is just amazing.
Yeah.
It is
So
amazing.
cool.
And I'm right in saying that there was somebody that you met through Instagram that you bumped into on the start line. Is that right?
That is correct. So, lovely Sophie, the cardio kid on Instagram, she was starting the Bristol half, and we bumped into each other, and we never met in person before, kind of just followed each other on Instagram, and we ended up running pretty much, at least the first half of the Bristol half together. We chatted the whole time. We we put the world to rights, as it were.
Yeah.
And it was so great because as runners, you always have a common topic,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
running. And it was just really nice to learn a bit more about her running journey, and what a lovely thing. I don't know if there's another community where you would find that level
No,
of.
I don't think so. Well, I don't. Let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried my hand at various different team sports actually in my early 30s, and it's not the same. It's not the same. There's a different mentality, there's a different approach, and it didn't really suit my personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think running, is definitely the friendliest, kindest community that I've met.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and during that time, I think it's so admirable. Like, she probably could have run faster, but she was like, no, and it was a race, and she was like, no, let's run together, and that,
That's really nice.
just made me really happy.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
she probably just wanted to boost her Instagram.
no, she's better than me on Instagram. A collab, yeah. Love it.
Yeah, so you mentioned obviously that when you saw Sophie there, that you had new topics to talk about, and that beautifully segues us in to talking about a hot topic discussion this week, which comes from a post that you put out on your Instagram a few weeks ago, which was around nose breathing.
Oh, nice.
So nose breathing, as far as we understand it, can be really beneficial for moderating your respiratory rate, lowering your blood pressure, lowering your heart rate. How are you getting on with your nose breathing journey?
Yeah, I do find that actually nose breathing really has changed the way I run. For my easy runs, I tend to nose breathe. I'd like to do a couple of zone 2 runs, so keeping my heart rate low each week. And for those ones, I keep my mouth firmly closed and breathe through my nose.
Yeah.
And I do find that it does help my breathing regulate, and I do feel like I can go on for longer
Yeah.
Okay.
if I do try it. It's much harder on faster runs.
I'm going to be a bit. Is it devil's advocate?
You got to chuck it in there, mate.
Devil's avocado.
Yeah. So I picked up this topic and did a bit of research, and I absolutely agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
But I listened to another podcast about nose breathing, and they said the benefits are really, really good. But if you are a normal runner who doesn't suffer from, let's say, asthma, hay fever, or something, breathing wise,
Yeah.
it doesn't really do much for you. So if you're a normal person, it's a bit like an MOT, and you go in and you say you want new tyres, but they say don't actually need new tyres, but you say you want them anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think, that is interesting and for sure. But a lot of the time, I think running is personal, isn't it?
yeah,
And for me, although it might not be benefiting me in like the actual, science way, what it does do is it makes sure that I stay at a slow pace and keep my breathing consistent.
yeah,
Sure.
and it's something different, isn't it, to
Yeah,
while
for
away the hours.
Yeah, and I do think that, keeping your breathing consistent is much easier
Yeah,
when you have to put a measure on it.
and a good life choice.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Well, interestingly, there's something called box breathing, which is big in the world of for people that are having panic attacks and anxiety,
Yeah.
which is basically where you breathe for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds,
Wow.
hold for 4 seconds, and you do that on repeat. It's very effective. Now, what we know is that if you concentrate on your breathing, no matter what, that actually what you will do is you'll calm yourself down. So there's probably a school of thought here that if you're nose breathing, that would have the same effect.
Yeah,
It would actually just lower everything and keep you calm, keep you in a space where actually, okay, right, here I am. Bike mic, mate.
oh, yeah.
Find out another one.
Good use of the bell
Busy
there.
today. So yeah, if it would just put you in a place, particularly say if you're like in the middle of an ultra marathon, perhaps maybe you're kind of struggling a little bit with your thoughts.
Yeah,
Again, going back to that, it might be something that will benefit you and focus you,
yeah, calming down, yeah.
so
I
that
see
you
that.
actually don't then think, because I always say, right Martin, you're doing fine, you've got like, I might be chasing for a podium place or something like that, and I'll be thinking, it's all right, they're going to fade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're going to fade. And even if they're not going to fade, if I tell myself that they're going to fade,
Yeah.
then I don't panic.
Yeah.
And then I catch them.
Yeah.
and then it's, okay, right, it worked, or I didn't catch them, and I just felt okay anyway.
Yeah.
And I could focus on my run.
Yeah.
So,
I guess that's also a ritual, isn't it, for you?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, worth
Yeah,
a
it's
try.
interesting.
And if you have got a thought on nose breathing, you've tried it out, or you would like to contest anything that we say, of course, we're basing this upon the limited information that we had time to
Not a
access.
scientist.
yeah.
We've not done a systematic review.
We are just runners.
So we're going to talk about the week at club now, I think. Josh?
Go for it, mate.
So Monday this week, I believe was, actually I don't know what Monday is, so I'm going to actually skip to Tuesday.
Okay.
And we did the Spirit of Green Man on Tuesday.
And how was that?
Well, I wasn't there, but I've spoken to people, and it was warm. is the kind of summary that I've managed to get.
Okay.
But I think on a nice summer's evening, getting out on the trail, off the
better.
tarmac, nothing better, is there?
Nothing better.
And it also would have been cooler.
Yeah.
As we
on
know,
there?
tarmac is a warm place to exist.
Yes.
As soon as you get near a bit of grass and some trees, it suddenly gets a bit cooler again.
And what happened on Thursday?
Oh, that was my first session as run leader, mate.
Wow.
So
What did you do?
I did a hill. So the hill session that I did is inspired by European 10,000 metre champion Joe Pavey,
Yep.
and it's called Joe Pavey's Hills. Now essentially what you do is you work your way through gradually smaller intervals of efforts uphill,
Okay.
and then you finish on a long one. So I did a variation on that. So what I did is we had a jog out, and it was quite hot, so we took our time.
Yeah.
So I reduced the number of intervals, but we kept the number of sets. We started off with 4 1-minute efforts with a jog back down.
Yeah.
Not massive effort, like 60%
Okay.
of effort, so 6 out of 10 RPE. And then we did 2 3-minute paced efforts up the hill.
Wow.
So the idea behind that is you run at a pace that you feel that you can maintain for those 3 minutes up a hill.
What was the general consensus of the session?
I've still got one more bit to talk about, mate.
Oh, sorry.
And then we finished on 2 30-second all-out hill sprints at the
Wow.
end,
In that heat?
with a very short recovery, 10-second recovery in between.
Right. Brutal.
So, like I say, a variation on Joe Pavey. Looking at the crowd,
Yeah.
I think they enjoyed it because it was a bit different.
Did you give it a special name?
Yeah, got the power.
Power.
We've got the power, and people certainly had the power on Thursday. So well done, everyone. You did brilliant.
Fantastic.
Ellie, what's your relationship with hills like?
What relationship? You know, it is something that I'm yet to conquer.
Okay.
I think. I do run up hills because I live at the top of 2 Mile Hill.
Okay.
So
Which isn't 2 miles, by the way. It's a misnomer, but
no, I'm glad actually it's not. But you know, I do a fair amount of Bristol hills. Yes. Do I ever enjoy them? I don't know.
or do you just get used to them?
I think you get used to them, and I think I do see the benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see the benefit, but it's not my favourite.
No.
I've actually signed up to do Endure 24 next year.
Nice.
Okay.
So, which is a 24-hour race.
The one in Reading, or
The one in
Leeds?
Reading, yeah.
Okay, yep.
And I know that it's a bit hilly, that one, so I'm going to need to train a little bit on those hills for sure.
Yeah, there's a few knobbles on that course for sure.
Yeah.
Which is strange because I've never thought of Reading as being particularly hilly.
No, you'd think that Lake Maggiore in Italy would be in the mountains, would be hillier, but yeah. There you go.
Ellie, are you part of a running club?
I'm not, no, but I do go to Bristol and West Athletics.
Okay.
Amazing group on a Monday, an endurance session run by Chris and Nick who work there, and yeah, so I do a track session once a week there.
Nice.
And I just love the group. It's a really inclusive mixed abilities group.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
The group are so friendly. There are people who run at all different speeds, and it's set out so that everyone can run different distances and finish at the same time.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
yeah.
great.
That's just going to make you stronger.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it really sorted my 5k time out. That
Yeah.
yeah, they're great.
That's good.
Fantastic group of people. But no, I don't do any running clubs just because my work, I just struggle
Yeah.
to get out at the times. But I'm hoping that we're going to be starting one at Society Cafe. But anyway, more to come on that later.
Okay.
Just thinking about 5Ks, I'd just like to give a shout out to one of our regular listeners, Adrian Grimshaw, who, by the time this airs, he would have done his 500th parkrun.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Congratulations,
So it's really great.
Adrian.
Amazing.
And you know, and actually, again, we talk a lot about the power of parkrun. Do you do many parkruns at all, Ellie?
I've only ever done one on Christmas Day.
Okay, all
I
right.
did full parkrun on Christmas Day last year, well, the year just gone.
You should do a park run. Do a
know.
park run sandwich.
The thing is, I love the idea of it, but I always want to do my long run on a Saturday.
Right, so it's then
Still can.
interrupting your routine.
Yeah, but I think what you can do, which I think is what you're talking about, is
Yeah.
you can do a bit of a run, do it in a park run, and then carry on.
Yeah.
That's my way of doing it, yeah.
So I think actually, I never thought of that before, but
You should
I
do it.
am going to do
It'll
that.
mix your runs up a bit.
Yeah, I think I will start doing that. What's your favourite park run in Bristol?
For me, it's got to be Pomfrey.
Yeah.
I suppose it's spiritual kind of home.
Yeah.
Ashton Court for me, I find it's quite hard getting there because it being the other side of town. And Eastville's very busy.
Is
Yeah.
it? Okay.
And I've not done Three Brooks,
It's very tight.
which I suppose isn't really Bristol because it's outside of Bristol really, but
Severn Bridge for me.
Severn Bridge, again, not in Bristol but close enough.
Where is Severn Bridge?
On the bridge, it's on the way to Wales.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's a good one,
Yeah, okay.
but you've got to go on a very calm day like today.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My favourite park run is a beast. It's Lanhydrock in Cornwall. So it starts off, it's on National Trust property. You start off going down the hill, you go do 2 laps of this wooded trail, which is absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
And then you're met with the most beastly 1 mile hill at the end.
Excellent.
And when I say beastly, it is an absolute terror. So basically the only time I've run it all the way up was when I ran it with my dog.
Nice.
And he was first dog runner on that day. So
What's your dog called?
Max. So
Max.
he is.
Shout out Max.
He's what my son refers to as a Timu golden retriever, and the fact that he's white, so he's not golden at all,
Wow.
and he doesn't retrieve.
I like the team move.
That aside, what a great dog.
I wish he'd actually been as cheap as a dog that you could get off Timu.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's for sure. Right, we're going to talk a little bit about club champs.
Go for it, mate.
So recently, in club championships, we've totted up the marathons. Those have all gone in. We had the Nailsy Beer and Banger,
Brilliant.
which we spoke about on episode 9, I believe, with Neil. Now we have an updated championship,
Okay.
and about 38 points in the lead in the men's championship is Andy Small.
Well done, Andy.
He's doing really good. And then Simon Wood on 104,
Come on, Simon, you can do it.
and me on 102.
Keep going, Martin.
Congratulations.
But I don't know whether I can sustain that because I don't think I'll get as many races as everyone else, but that is, as is often the case. But well done everyone there. In the women's championship we got Julia, who's in the lead.
Well done, Julia.
Can't remember the points. We've got Leslie Barry in second,
Go, Leslie.
doing absolutely fantastic. And I think it's a toss up between Annamika and Fiona in third place.
Well done, ladies. All to play for. You can do it.
Next one is Magor 10k, nice fast flat 10k at the end of July. Probably would have run by the time we air this.
Okay. Well, good luck to everybody and well done
yeah.
if you got some PBs.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll update that you on that in the future. That does bring us to the end of our run today. We've actually already stopped, as you might tell, because there's less jiggling, there's less heavy breathing,
Yes.
and all that sort of stuff. Ellie, it's been absolutely brilliant having you on today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Really good.
But send us on our way.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
What are your top tips for new runners?
My top tips for new runners, I think, it's really important to take it slow when you start. I'd say that's my first one, is just take it slow. Don't puff yourself out and don't worry about, put the ego aside and don't worry about times or any of that stuff. Just get out there and run. And if you need to walk, then you can walk. That's absolutely fine. I think number 2 is find the community. I think the community is so important with running, and you learn so much more by talking to people, and by learning from their journeys, and you can help people as well. And number 3 is just have fun. Like, it's fun. Running's fun. It's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's really good fun. And like, if you want to race, but still have fun. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we see a lot of fun a lot of the time. It's like talk about fun running, but you can see people like who still do serious race, like the marathons in like a ridiculous costume and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely.
Brings it to life, doesn't it?
It's so fun, and it can be a really great space just to enjoy yourself and have a nice time, for sure.
It just creates the memories. So when we
Yeah.
get a bit older and we're all stuck in our nursing homes. So, do you remember that run we did?
I know, our
How we
bodies,
laughed.
how amazing they were.
Absolutely. Keep working hard, guys. Thanks, Ellie. And that wraps up today's episode of Stride by Stride. I've been Martin,
I've been Josh.
and you have been listening to Stride by Stride, and we'll catch up with you very soon.